Good evening, students. Let us start the class. Today we are discussing about the Fourier transforms. Right. So already I have given the formulas, I think, in the previous session. Anyhow, here just I will rewrite the formulas. Just check it once again. So Fourier transforms. Fourier transform converts the signal from time domain to frequency domain. So we can take the frequency domain signal as either x of f or as x of omega. So the formulas I have given: Fourier transform of x of t. If it is, we have taken x of f, this is the formula from minus infinity to plus infinity integration of time domain signal x of t multiplied by e to the power of minus j 2 pi f t dt. Whereas inverse Fourier transform of x of f is x of t given by the formula integral minus into plus infinity x of f multiplied by e to the power of plus j 2 pi f t. Now here signal is in f domain, so that it is df. Similarly, in this x of omega case, x of omega is defined as integral minus infinity to plus infinity x of t multiplied by e to the power of minus j omega t dt. Whereas inverse Fourier transform in this case, x of t, here 1 by 2 pi integral minus infinity to plus infinity x of omega multiplied by e to the power of plus j omega t is the signal in omega domain, here d omega. So this 1 by 2 pi to be noted clearly. Fine. So this is the Fourier transform pair formulas in both x of f and x of omega. So now first let us find the Fourier transform of the basic standard elementary signals, and then we can see the Fourier transform properties. Based on the properties, we can solve some more Fourier transform pairs, and then we can solve exercise problems followed by previous problems. First, let us solve the Fourier transform of some basic standard elementary signals. First, I will take unit impulse signal. Let us find the Fourier transform of unit impulse signal. So I am finding the Fourier transform in terms of x of omega. Some signals I will find both x of f and x of omega. So if I feel that that is a confusing one, definitely I will find that one in both cases. Most of the signals, what happens means we don't have any confusion between x of f and x of omega. So let us take x of omega case here. So x of omega is Fourier transform of del of t. From the formula integral minus infinity to plus infinity del of t multiplied by e to the power of minus j omega t dt. So we have the impulse signal properties. That is a sampling property. Integral minus infinity to plus infinity. If del of t multiplied by x of t, this is equal to x of 0. This is the property of the impulse signal we know. So if you compare this equation with this equation, so here x of t is e to the power of minus j omega t. So that what is x of 0 means e to the power of 0 is the result. From the sampling property, we are writing this expression as e to the power of 0, which is equal to 1. So the Fourier transform of unit impulse signal is 1. This is the first signal. Next, let us find the Fourier transform of exponential signals. It is very important for us. I hope all of you noted this. Fine. So let us find the Fourier transform of the signal e to the power of minus at u of t. Signal here x of t given as e to the power of minus at u of t. A must be positive. Find the Fourier transform of this signal. Let us find x of omega for this signal. It is integral minus infinity to plus infinity e to the power of minus at u of t e to the power of minus j omega t dt from the Fourier transform formula. So that u of t is there. U of t signal, it is 1 for t greater than or equal to 0. So it is 0 for t less than 0. We can change the limit from 0 to infinity. And during this interval, u of t value 1. So the remaining expression, two exponentials we can combine. So that we can write it as e to the power of minus of a plus j omega t dt. So integration of an exponential signal. So this is e to the power of minus of a plus j omega t divided by minus of a plus j omega with the t limits from 0 to infinity. Let us substitute the limits here. So first of all, the denominator term I am writing separately here, minus of 1 divided by a plus j omega outside, and upper limit here e to the power of minus of some expression into infinity minus e to the power of 0. So provided in this expression, observe this expression a plus j omega, we have taken a greater than 0. So a is positive and j omega is there. What is j omega means? In S domain, sigma plus j omega, real part is 0. J omega means real part is 0. Definitely it should not be negative. So that this total expression is positive. Confirm that total expression is positive. So that here should be positive. So anyhow, e to the power of minus infinity. We know that e to the power of minus infinity 0 plus infinity infinity e power 0 1. So let us substitute the values. So that is minus of 1 by a plus j omega, and this is 0 minus 1. So that minus minus plus, we got 1 by a plus j omega is the Fourier transform final expression. So the Fourier transform pair is e power minus at u of t. Fourier transform is 1 divided by a plus j omega. Most of the Fourier transform pairs, better we remember. I hope all of you noted this. Let's go to the next page. Fine. One more signal, what I'm giving is here. One more exponential signal. E to the power of plus at u of t. E to the power of plus at u of t. Here a is greater than 0. Find the Fourier transform of this signal. The same procedure. Let us find x of omega is integral minus infinity to plus infinity e to the power of at u of t e to the power of minus j omega t dt. Again, we are changing the limits. U of t means 0 to infinity. U of t is 1. This time we are combining the limits. E to the power of a minus j omega t dt. Let us integrate this one. We get e to the power of a minus j omega t divided by a minus j omega with the t limits 0 to infinity. Let us substitute the limits. This is 1 by a minus j omega e to the power of, this expression is positive, infinity minus e to the power of 0. So we confirm that this is positive expression, and e to the power of plus infinity this time. So infinity. Finally, we got the answer infinity. So there is no Fourier transform for the signal e to the power of plus at u of t. So that e to the power of minus at u of t, we got Fourier transform. E power minus at u of t graph will be like this. Now e to the power of plus at u of t, the graph for this is like this. This is e to the power of plus at u of t. Simply unbounded signal. This is a unbounded signal. There is no Fourier transform for this signal. It fails the Dirichlet condition. Fine. One more signal here. Observe one more exponential I will give. E to the power of at. Observe this one. E to the power of plus at u of minus t. This time u of minus t, take it. At a value as usual, it is greater than 0. Find the Fourier transform of this. Let's find x of omega for e to the power of at u of minus t. Let us take x of omega is minus infinity plus infinity e to the power of plus at u of minus t and e to the power of minus j omega t dt. U of minus t is there. This value 1 over the limit minus infinity to 0. And combining the exponentials, will get e to the power of a minus j omega t dt. If I substitute, first let us integrate this exponential. It is e to the power of a minus j omega t divided by a minus j omega with the limits of t from minus infinity to 0. Let us substitute the limits here. 1 divided by a minus j omega, and it is e to the power of 0 minus e to the power of minus infinity, right? Because this expression is positive and lower limit t is minus infinity. We got e to the power of minus infinity this time. So this is 1, this is 0. So finally what we get? 1 divided by a minus j omega. Fairly we are getting the Fourier transform of e to the power of plus at u of minus t. So write the Fourier transform pair. E to the power of at u of minus t. Fourier transform is 1 divided by a minus j omega. Is it exponentially falling signal or rising signal? Means it is exponentially rising, no doubt in it. But what is the graph for this signal? It is a left-sided signal because u of minus t is there. So it is exponentially rising. For t value minus infinity, e to the power of minus infinity 0. That means it starts at 0 at minus infinity and slowly it is exponentially rising, and e power 0 is 1. So from 0 to 1, it is exponentially rising like this. So this is a bounded signal only. That's why Fourier transform. Fine. One more exponential. Two-sided exponential. So far, three signals I have given. First signal, right-sided, exponentially falling. Second, right-sided, exponentially rising. Third, left-sided, exponentially rising. Now I am giving you the fourth signal. It is. I hope all of you noted this. Let's go to the next page. Fine. Find the Fourier transform of this exponential, which is both-sided exponential. Fifth question. X of t is equal to, if it is e to the power of minus a mod t, provided a greater than 0. Find the Fourier transform of x of t. Fine. Let us find the x of omega for this both-sided signal. What is the graph for this signal? First, mod t. Mod t is minus t when t is negative, and the right hand side mod t is plus t. So that here it is e to the power of plus at, and right side it is e to the power of minus 8. That means left side it is a rising signal exponentially, and the right side it is exponentially falling signal. That is the nature of this signal, a both-sided signal. Observe amplitude nowhere, it goes to infinity. So we should get Fourier transform fairly. Let us find the Fourier transform of this one. X of omega. So minus infinity to plus infinity, e power minus a mod t, e to the power of minus j omega t dt. Let us expand the integration into two terms. So minus infinity to 0, one term. During this, what is the expression for e to the power of minus a mod t? This is e to the power of plus 80. So e to the power of 80, e to the power of minus j omega t is there. Second term, 0 to infinity. What is the expression for this? It is e to the power of minus 80. E to the power of minus 80 multiplied by e to the power of minus j omega t dt. Let us combine the exponentials. First, combination of this one, e to the power of a minus j omega t, integration from minus infinity to 0 dt. Second term, combine these two exponentials, you will get e to the power of minus of a plus j omega t dt, whereas limits 0 to infinity. Let us integrate the exponential. Now single exponentials we have. So first term exponential it is, after integration, e to the power of a minus j omega t divided by a minus j omega with the t limits minus infinity to 0 plus second term yes. Second term after integration, it is e to the power of minus of a plus j omega t divided by minus of a plus j omega with the t limits 0 to infinity. Let us substitute the limits. This is 1 divided by a minus j omega. Same process, upper limit, it is e to the power of 0. Lower limit, it is e to the power of minus infinity. Minus of 1 by a plus j omega. It is e to the power of minus infinity, upper limit, minus e to the power of 0, lower limit. Fine. Let us further simplify this one. This is 1, this is 0, this is 0, this is 1. So that we get 1 divided by a minus j omega. First term, second term it is 0, minus 1 divided by a plus j omega. Already 1 minus 1 is there, so we can take plus here. Further, we can cross multiply the terms. A minus j omega, a plus j omega, the denominator, and this side a plus j omega plus a minus j omega. Any cancellations? J omega term cancels. It is 2a divided by, this is a square plus omega square. Since j square is equal to minus 1. So finally what we get? 2a by a square plus omega square. Fourier transform of e to the power of minus a mod t is 2a divided by a square plus omega square. Very, very important Fourier transform pair for us. In all previous questions, a repeated Fourier transform pair this is. Whenever mod t is there, that is important, fix. Whether it is Fourier transform or Laplace transform or signal operations, whatever it may be. Mod t involved problems are repeated in the previous papers. Fine. So we got the Fourier transform of different kinds of exponential signals, out of which only one signal is not Fourier transformable, which is an unbounded signal. The amplitude goes to infinity. It is not absolutely integrable. Fine. One more signal. I hope all of you noted this. Let us go to the next page. Let us find the Fourier transform of signum function now. One more standard signal, signum function. Which is plus 1 right hand side, minus 1 left hand side. Find the Fourier transform of signum function. Observe, signum function is also not absolutely integrable. Integral minus infinity to plus infinity, signum function of t is tending to infinity, not less than infinity. So we need some modification here. I told you this signal, this condition of Dirichlet condition is not a necessary condition. It is a sufficient condition, but not necessary. It is sufficient condition, but not necessary condition. So if it is not absolutely integrable, you can make modification if you have. By some indirect methods, we can proceed. Fine. What I am doing here is first Fourier transform of signum function. I am writing the formula here. Minus into plus infinity. Signum function e to the power of minus j omega t dt. So I am doing a small modification here. That means I am multiplying with e to the power of minus a mod t. Because already e to the power of minus a mod t is Fourier transformable. Just the previous problem we have checked. But to keep the value of the expression same, let us take this a tending to 0. Limit a value tending to 0. That means limit a tending to 0, e to the power of minus a mod t is nothing but 1. So the expression value does not change even if we do like this. Now we can proceed. Limit a tending to 0, signum function value. Let us divide the integrals in two terms. Minus infinity to 0, first limit. During that limit, signum function value minus 1. So minus 1. And these two exponentials, let us combine. And the two in negative side, mod t is minus t. First I'll write minus a, mod t is minus t, so that it will become plus t. E to the power of plus t in left hand side, and e to the power of minus j omega t is here. Second term, 0 to infinity. So right hand side, e to the power of minus a mod t is positive. So that it will be as it is, e to the power of minus a t, and signum function is plus 1. Right hand side, and e to the power of minus j omega t is there. Now let us combine the exponentials. Limit a tending to 0. This limit is applicable for both terms. So you can write like this. So let us take the combination of these exponentials into a single exponential. It is e to the power of a minus j omega t. After integration, divided by a minus j omega will come. And here minus 1 is there. Here limits t value minus infinity to 0. Second term, combining the exponentials, what we get? E to the power of minus of a plus j omega t. After integration, we'll get in the denominator minus of a plus j omega, and t limits t value 0 to infinity in the second term. So limit a tending to 0 minus 1 divided by a minus j omega. Upper limit it is e to the power of 0, lower limit it is e to the power of minus infinity. Next, minus 1 by and substitution of the limits, we will get e to the power of minus infinity upper limit and e to the power of 0 lower limit. Let us expand this equation. Here it is 0. E power minus infinity it is 0, e power 0 it is 1. Right. Let us proceed. Limit a tending to 0. So first term it is minus 1 by a minus j omega. Second term it is here minus 1 is there, and also here minus is there. So minus minus plus 1 by a plus j omega. Let us cross multiply. Limit a tending to 0. So here it is minus a minus j omega plus a minus j omega whole divided by product of these two denominators. Let us further simplify any cancellations. This time a gets cancelled. So limit a tending to 0. In the numerator we get minus 2 j omega divided by, in the denominator we get a square plus omega square. Now let us take the limit a tending to 0 here, so that this term 0. So what we get? Minus 2j omega divided by omega square, or else minus 2j by omega. Or if you multiply j in the numerator and denominator, this minus sign and j square will get cancelled. Simply will get 2 by j omega, just to get the simplified format. So signum function Fourier transform pair. Finally, what we get? It is 2 by j omega. Important Fourier transform pair. With the help of signum function, we'll get unit step function Fourier transform in future after discussing the Fourier transform properties. For that, we need Fourier transform of a DC function along with Fourier transform of signum function. So after the properties of Fourier transform, I will discuss Fourier transform of unit step function. I hope all of you noted this. There is no confusion in this solution. We got fairly answer 2 by j omega. The signum function Fourier transform is 2 by j omega. Right. Let us go to the next page. So now, next signal. If x of t is a rectangular function, rectangle t by tau. Find the Fourier transform both x of omega and x of, because this time x of omega, x of f both will get different expressions. That's why I am giving here both cases separately. Let us solve first for x of omega and then let us solve for x of f also. First, x of omega, let us find Fourier transform for rectangular function. What is the function given? The rectangular function. Width of function is tau. The pulse width is tau, means because of symmetry, this is minus tau by 2 to plus tau by 2. The amplitude is 1. This is the given function x of t. So for this, what is the Fourier transform x of omega? Let us take x of omega formula for this. Integral minus infinity to plus infinity x of t multiplied by e to the power of minus j omega t dt. Substitute the value of x of t here. What it is? Minus tau by 2 to plus tau by 2. X of t value is 1. This value is 1 over the limit minus tau by 2 to plus tau by 2. Multiplied by e to the power of minus j omega t dt. A single exponential signal. Let us integrate this exponential now, so that it is e to the power of minus j omega t divided by minus j omega with the t limits minus tau by 2 to plus tau by 2. This is equal to minus 1 by j omega. Substitute the upper limit e to the power of minus j omega tau by 2 minus lower limit, it is e to the power of minus j omega minus tau by 2. Right. Now minus I am multiplying inside, So 1 by j omega. So that here minus minus, it is plus. So this term will come first. So e to the power of j omega tau by 2 minus e to the power of minus j omega tau by 2. Right. So further what we can do means, you know that e to the power of j theta minus e to the power of minus j theta divided by 2j is equal to sin theta. Let us convert into sin term. For that here, omega tau by 2 is the theta. Then we need 2 in the denominator, so that we can multiply and divide with the 2. So that 2 divided by omega and e power j theta minus e power minus j theta divided by 2j is there. So that can be written as sin theta. Means sin omega tau by 2. And further what we can do means, we know that sin t divided by t is sampling t. The sampling function SA of t is defined as sin t by t. In that way, we can convert this expression. I am rewriting this expression as sin omega tau by 2 divided by, here already omega divided by 2 is there. This 2 can bring here. So tau is lagging here, so that I can multiply and divide with tau. Then I can write sin theta by theta is sampling theta, or sin t by t is sampling t. That way, this is tau sampling of omega tau by 2. So the rectangular function Fourier transform, what we get in x of omega is a sampling function. Rectangular of t by tau Fourier transform is tau sampling of omega tau by 2. Very, very important Fourier transform pair. This rectangular function is in both x of omega and x of f formats. In sampling theorem, in Nyquist rate calculation problems, repeatedly used question this pair. This pair will be repeatedly they are asking in the competitive examinations. Most important, you can say. So I have find x of omega for the signal. Try to find x of f for the signal, all of you. This side tau is there in time domain, in frequency domain. If it is x of omega, tau by 2 is there. Note this point, will be useful in future. I hope all of you noted this. Let us find x of f for the same signal. Same signal, rectangular signal. X of t is equal to rectangular t by tau. Let us find x of f. This is the x of t given. So x of f directly use the formula integral minus into plus infinity x of t multiplied by e to the power of minus j 2 pi f t dt. So that it is over the limits minus tau by 2 to plus tau by 2 is x of t, amplitude is 1. Remaining e to the power of minus j 2 pi f t dt. Single exponential we can integrate. Let us integrate this one. E to the power of minus j 2 pi f t divided by minus j 2 pi f with the t limits minus tau by 2 to plus tau by 2. Next, is minus 1 divided by j 2 pi f multiplied by, substitute the limits, e to the power of minus j 2 pi f in t place, we have to substitute tau by 2 minus lower limit e to the power of minus of j 2 pi f minus tau by 2. So here minus minus plus and 2 gets cancelled. This minus plus. What's remaining? Write down minus 1 by j 2 pi f. After cancellations, we are having e to the power of minus j pi f tau minus e to the power of plus j pi f tau. Further, after multiplying minus inside, we are getting 1 by pi f, I'll write outside, and e to the power of j pi f tau minus e to the power of minus j pi f tau divided by 2j. Fine. Again, e power j theta e to the power of minus j theta divided by 2j is sin theta. That 1 divided by pi f sin of, in theta place we have pi f tau, and we know that sinc t is defined as sin pi t divided by pi t. Here this one is sin pi f tau divided by pi f is already there. So tau is lagging. Let us multiply and divide with tau here. So that what we can write? Tau sinc f tau. So finally we got the Fourier transform of rectangular function in x of f format, tau sinc f tau. Let us write the Fourier transform pair here. Rectangular of t by tau Fourier transform in x of f format is tau sinc f tau. Very, very important thing. Observe here tau in time domain, again same tau in frequency domain. Whereas in x of omega, if you observe, tau in time domain, tau by 2 in frequency domain. Note the difference. You must by heart both Fourier transform pairs, both are useful, especially in sampling theorem. I'll reuse this Fourier transform pairs repeatedly. I hope all of you noted this. Fine. Some of the Fourier transform pairs by using properties of the Fourier transform we can do. So first I will give the Fourier transform properties statements one by one. Please note down carefully. And then based on the properties, let us solve some more Fourier transform pairs. Fine. Let us go to the next page. Fourier transform properties. Just directly statements I am giving you. First, linearity property. if x1 of t Fourier transform x1 of omega and x2 of t Fourier transform x2 of omega, then the Fourier transform of some constant a into x1 of t plus constant b into x2 of t is a into x1 of omega plus b into x2 of omega. We have seen the linearity property in the system properties. Linearity means both the superposition and homogeneity, we know. Superposition means addition of two. Homogeneity means multiplication with constant. You can observe here. x1, x2 both are added. Superposition. Multiplied with some constant. Homogeneity. Both combinedly satisfied. That is why it is linearity property. Fine. Second one. Time scaling property. Time scaling property it is, if x of t Fourier transform x of omega, then x of a into t Fourier transform, where a is some constant, 1 by mod a x of omega by a. This is the time scaling property. In case if a value, if you take as -1, then scaling property x of minus t Fourier transform, what it will be? 1 by modulus of -1 is +1, and x of omega by -1, that is x of minus omega. This is called time reversal property of Fourier transform. The time reversal property is nothing but the special case of time scaling property of Fourier transform. Time reversal property. Next, third one, time shifting property. Shifting in time domain. Simply, if x of t Fourier transform x of omega, then x of t plus or minus t naught Fourier transform is x of omega multiplied by e to the power of plus or minus j omega t naught. Observe here, t naught is a shifting constant, e power j omega t naught. Remember, in time domain, omega should never come. In frequency domain, t should never come. Here, t naught is constant, not variable. Fine. Similarly, frequency shifting or shifting in frequency domain. Shifting in frequency domain. If x of t Fourier transform x of omega, then if frequency domain signal is shifted by plus or minus some constant in frequency domain omega naught, then time domain signal x of t multiplied by exponential e to the power of j omega naught t. Observe here, not omega, omega naught constant, shifting constant. And observe here, plus or minus is there. Here, minus or plus should be there. Here, observe in the time shifting, plus or minus in time domain. Again, same plus or minus in the frequency domain. Whereas in frequency domain, opposite. For plus omega naught shifting in frequency domain, minus j omega naught should be taken in the time domain. Anyway, one common thing in shifting property, third and fourth properties, what we can observe is a signal shifting in one domain resulting in multiplication of exponential, complex exponential in the other domain. One domain shifting means other domain signal multiplied with complex exponential. That is first common thing. Second thing, in time shifting, same signature, whereas in frequency shifting, this is opposite signature. These 2 points should be remembered. Fine. Next one. Differentiation in time domain. Differentiation in time domain. So if x of t Fourier transform x of omega, then derivative of x of t Fourier transform is j omega x of omega. Just x of omega multiplied by j omega. Differentiation in time domain property. Hope all of you noted this. I'm going to the next page. Sixth property. Now time domain differentiation we have seen. Frequency domain differentiation, that is sixth property. Differentiation in frequency domain. So that it is minus jt x of t Fourier transform is dx of omega by d omega. If you multiply both sides with j, some books may give like this. Here j square minus 1 goes t x of t Fourier transform, that side j dx of omega by d omega. Both are valid. So differentiation in frequency domain property statement, this one. Next, seventh one, integration in time domain. Integration in time domain. Fine. So the signal is integrated in time domain. Minus infinity to t x of tau d tau. The Fourier transform is x of omega by j omega. This is the integration in time domain property. We don't have integration in frequency domain property because already the spectrum is an integration of time domain signal. We don't have integration in frequency domain property. Next, eighth one. Observe after this, you can replace x of omega to x of f. You'll get corresponding Fourier transform pair in x of f format. If there is omega, replace with 2 pi f. If there is x of omega, replace with x of f. Signal replace with signal. Omega replace with 2 pi f. You will get the corresponding x of f property. But now onwards, a small difference is there. I'll write separately. First, convolution in time domain. Convolution property simply. So first, time domain convolution. Here, x1 of t convolution x2 of t Fourier transform is x1 of omega multiplied with x2 of omega, and in x of f also x1 of t convolution x2 of t is Fourier transform multiplication of these two signals. Whereas in frequency domain, convolution in frequency domain, here it is x1 of t multiplied with x2 of t. This is 1 by 2 pi x1 of omega convolution x2 of omega. Observe 1 by 2 pi is there. Whereas in x of f format, x1 of t multiplication with x2 of t, Fourier transform is x1 of f convolution x2 of f. In time domain small x for the signal, in frequency domain capital X for the signal. Just observe that. Whereas convolution in frequency domain, if you observe, 1 by 2 pi is extra. So that's why I have written for convolution property both x of omega and x of f expression separate. Fine. This can be called as multiplication property also. Multiplication property. And one common thing you can observe is one domain multiplication, other domain convolution, or this domain convolution, in that domain multiplication. Fine. Note it clearly. Note on each statement clearly and observe the differences in x of omega format and x of f format. One by 2 pi coming into picture in the convolution of frequency domain in x of omega format. I hope all of you noted. Let us go to the next phase. Ninth property. Parseval's relation. This is also very important for us, especially electronics EC students in communication subject. It's very, very helpful relation. Fine. Here, what is this Parseval's relation means? We know that energy of a signal x of t. If it is x of t, its energy is defined as minus into plus infinity x of t magnitude square dt. We know this. If the x of t signal is a sinc function, then it is very difficult to calculate the energy of this signal. Right? We know that sinc function is nothing but sin pi t by pi. So very difficult to find the energy of the signal in time domain here itself. So this Parseval's relation says that this expression is equivalent to frequency domain, what it is observed. So minus infinity to plus infinity x of t whole square dt, it is equivalent to minus infinity plus infinity frequency domain signal, same expression in x of f. Because sinc function Fourier transform, we know that a rectangular function. So finding this area or this integration expression in rectangle is very easy. So if one cannot solve this energy expression time domain, they can go to the frequency domain by using partial solution. This kind of questions are repeating in the previous papers, especially after 2017 or 2015 onwards. Every year I am seeing this kind of questions. Very important question. Parcels relation. Fine. This one, if we have x of omega expression, then we know that every time df is there means to convert into d omega, df is equal to d omega by 2 pi. So 1 by 2 pi is coming into picture here. So same expression in x of omega format. Right. This is the partial solution, most important for us. Next, 10th one is also very, very important. Duality property. This is unique property for Fourier transform. You can't find duality property in Laplace transform and Z transforms. The uniqueness of Fourier transform lies in this property, duality property. Because of this duality property only, some signals which are not Laplace transformable, Z transformable, they are able to Fourier transform. Because of the duality property. Very, very important. Let's have this property also in both formats, x of f and x of omega. So first, x of f. Sorry. If x of t Fourier transform x of f, observe small x is time domain signal. The variable small x we are using for time domain signal, and capital X we are using for frequency domain signal. A dependent variable simply. Independent variable we know. In time domain t is independent variable, in frequency domain f is independent variable. So what this duality property says means, if you bring this frequency domain signal into time domain, then that Fourier transform of that signal is, this time domain signal comes to frequency domain with reflection x of minus. Try to understand the property statement. So the frequency domain signal, if it comes to the time domain signal, the corresponding Fourier transform what happens means the time domain signal will come to frequency domain with reflection. If it is x of f. Same in x of omega, here 2 pi coming into picture. So I'll write the statement again here. If x of t Fourier transform x of omega, then frequency domain signal comes to time domain. Time domain signal goes to frequency domain small x with reflection. Since it is x of omega format, don't forget 2 pi here. Very, very important. Right now we use this property to find the Fourier transform, some standard signals. So duality property. Note it carefully. Last property, area under the signals. Nowadays we are getting the questions from this property, area under the signals. I'll tell you how to take the area under different signals, x of t, x of f, x of omega. 3 different signals separately, let us see. I hope all of you noted this. I want to write 11th property, area under the signal, in a separate page. I hope all of you noted this. Fine. Let's go to the next page. Area under the curve. Area under the signal, we can say. signal, which signal means either it can be x of t, or it can be x of f, or it can be x of omega. Three signals. Area of any signal simply minus into plus infinity x of t dt is the area under the signal x of t. Just integration from minus infinity plus infinity of a given signal gives the area of that signal. So for that, I want to just recall the Fourier transform pairs once again here. X of f formula, let's recall minus infinity plus infinity x of t e to the power of minus j 2 pi f t dt. Whereas x of omega formula we have minus infinity plus infinity x of t e to the power of minus j omega t dt, and x of t inverse Fourier transform we have in terms of x of f, no 2 pi. So direct integration x of f e to the power of plus j 2 pi f t df, whereas inverse Fourier transform in omega domain, it is 1 by 2 pi integral minus infinity plus infinity x of omega e to the power of plus j omega t d omega. Observe, we want area. So this kind of expression for signal. So first two signals can give area under signal x of t because integration of x of t is there. Next two signals, observe. Third expression, third signal, if you observe, try to mute after entering into meeting. Yeah. Fine. Third signal gives integration of x of f is there. So area under x of f signal, secondary thing, we can find by using third expression. Similarly, fourth expression gives area under x of omega. See how it is. So we want minus into plus infinity x of t dt, area under the signal x of t. What to get means, if you consider x of f, this exponential, if it is equal to 1, then remaining is area under the signal x of t. That means consider x of f. To make that exponential equal to 1, take f value 0, so that e to the power of 0 is 1. Nothing but capital X of 0. So to find the area under the signal x of t, if you know the corresponding Fourier transform x of f, take the origin value of x of f enough. It will give the area of time domain signal. That is the meaning of this. In case if you take x of omega, if you know x of omega Fourier transform pair, then with that to find the area of the signal x of t, x of omega, take it the second expression from second. This is from first expression. Second, from second expression, e to the power minus j omega t, make it equal to 1. So that here omega, if you take 0, e power 0 will be 1. So x of omega with omega tending to 0. So observe, this is also capital X of 0, this is also capital X of 0, but here x of f format in first one, second one x of omega format. Which Fourier transform you know, that one you can pick up. Fine. Next, third one, minus into plus infinity, if you want to find the area of x of f signal, so use the third expression. From third expression, how can you take this exponential should be equal to 1 means take x of t and t tending to 0 you take. So from third expression, x of t take it, take t tending to 0, so that you will get small x of 0 equal to integration of capital X of f df, which is the area under the x of f signal. Similarly, from fourth one, observe what is x of 0 here, 1 by 2 pi area under the x of omega signal. This one will be 1, If you take t value 0, but here 1 by 2 pi is there. So take 2 pi this side. So to get minus infinity to plus infinity, x of omega d omega, take 2 pi this side, small x of t with t tending to 0. So that 2 pi multiplied by x of 0. 2 pi coming into picture. That should be noted. Like this, area under different signals we will get with the help of other domain signals. Just by taking the origin value. If it is omega, x of omega, multiply time domain signal origin value with 2 pi. So if you observe the statement of these formulas, you can easily apply for the given question. It's not a big deal for us. So these are the properties we must remember and by heart. Fourier transform properties. With all these properties, we can solve some more Fourier transform pairs. So that first, let us find Fourier transform of a DC signal. I think all of you noted this, and you understand how to take the area under the different signals x of t, x of f, x of omega by using these Fourier transform pairs, 4 formulas. Fine. Let's go to the Fourier transform pairs some more. Right. First, I want Fourier transform of a DC signal. Find Fourier transform of a DC signal. Point to be noted is DC signal, no Laplace transform, no Z transform. Here Fourier transform we have. That is because of duality property. So let us see the signal DC signal means independent of time is having some constant value. So the DC signal. What is the duality property? Let us see here. In x of f, find the duality property statement. Once again, I am writing here. In x of omega also I am writing. See, signal only exchange number here. Always left side time domain, right side frequency domain. T should be here itself, omega should be here itself. Only dependent variable signal which is that can be exchanged. Fine. With this, consider Fourier transform of delta function. You know that first signal we solve today, it is 1. So del of t Fourier transform, if it is 1. If we bring this signal, 1 is a DC signal. If we bring this signal into time domain, from the statement, this signal should go to frequency domain with reflection. We know that impulse signal is symmetric. Is having symmetry property. It is a symmetric signal. So that del of minus f is nothing but del of plus. So what is the Fourier transform of constant 1 means? In f domain it is del of f. We can multiply both sides with constant k from the linearity property. So if Fourier transform of k is needed, constant k into del of f is the Fourier transform. Whereas in x of omega analysis, if you observe, if del of t Fourier transform 1, taking 1 this side, so del function go to that side with reflection and multiplied by 2 pi. So 1 Fourier transform in x of omega analysis, 2 pi del of omega. Our constant DC function Fourier transform in x of omega is 2 pi del of omega and 2 pi k or k into 2 pi del of omega. Fine. With this, we can find the Fourier transform of unit step function. I think all of you noted this. Try to note down. Let's go to the next phase. Let us find the Fourier transform of unit step function now with the help of Fourier transform of signum function and this DC function. I'm writing first Fourier transform of signum function. What we got? 2 by j omega. And now we got Fourier transform of constant k is k del of f, and this side k 2 by del of omega. Both. So this is omega. If you want F analysis, Fourier transform of signum function, replace omega with 2 pi f. 2 by j, 2 pi f. So the 2 gets cancelled. 1 by j pi f is the Fourier transform in x of f format. Fourier transform here, x of f format, this one. X of omega format, this one. Then let us find Fourier transform of unit step function. So we have the relation between signal function and the unit step function. I told you the first class signal operations. Signal function can be represented as 2u of t minus 1. This expression can be rearranged in this form. 1 that side and 2 into the denominator. We will get 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2 signal function. Step function, we can write it as half plus half signal function. Of 1 by 2 is a constant here. So this is a DC signal. Now first let us solve in x of omega analysis. U of t in x of omega. So first Fourier transform of u of t is nothing but Fourier transform of 1 by 2 plus Fourier transform of 1 by 2 signal function. So in omega analysis, 1 by 2 Fourier transform is constant multiplied by 2 pi del of omega. So that 1 by 2 pi del of omega plus Fourier transform of half signal function 1 by 2 signal function Fourier transform here 2 by j omega. So finally what we get? 2 gets cancelled, 2 gets cancelled. Pi del of omega plus 2 by 1 divided by j omega. Pi del of omega plus 1 by j omega. U of t Fourier transform pair pi del of omega plus 1 by j omega. Whereas in x of f, we want Fourier transform in x of f. Take Fourier transform of u of t, that is Fourier transform of 1 by 2 plus Fourier transform of 1 by 2 signal function. Fourier transform of 1 by 2. So in f analysis, k del of f, it means 1 by 2 del of f plus 1 by 2 Fourier transform signal function 1 by j pi f. 1 by j pi f. So Fourier transform of u of t in f analysis, what we are getting is 1 by 2 into del of f plus 1 by j pi f. whichever required, that one you can use. I hope all of you noted this. Let us go to the next page. Now let us find Fourier transform of sinusoidal signals. I'm going to the next page. Fine. So let us find Fourier transform of sinusoidal signals now. For that, first, what is the Fourier transform of complex exponential signal? Let us see. Exponential signals already we have derived in the beginning of this class. Now complex exponential signal Fourier transform, that is e to the power of plus or minus j omega naught t Fourier transform. For that, the properties of Fourier transform, if you see, DC function Fourier transform, what we have, I'm considering DC function Fourier transform. One Fourier transform is in x of f. It is del of f. In x of omega. One Fourier transform is 2 pi del of omega. If we multiply in time domain e to the power of minus j omega naught t, then one domain multiplying with exponential means other domain shifting is there, that we know. So here this is omega naught, let us write it as f analysis. Let us take it as 2 pi f naught e to the power of minus j 2 pi f naught t. So that this will be del of f plus f naught. In frequency shifting opposite sign, I told you the Fourier transform properties. So that here if it is e to the power of plus j 2 pi f naught t, this side del of f minus f naught will get. Whereas in omega analysis, if we see, we e to the power of minus j omega naught t if we multiply it with 1. Other side Fourier transform, what you will get means shifting of the signal 2 pi del of opposite sign, means omega plus omega naught. E to the power of plus j omega naught t means Fourier transform 2 pi del of omega minus omega naught. So complex exponential signal Fourier transforms we have now. If we have this one, we can use cos and sine signals in terms of the complex sinusoids. So first let us take cos omega naught t. Cos omega naught t is what? E to the power of j 2 pi f naught t plus e to the power of minus j 2 pi f naught t divided by 2. So 1 by 2 into this one. Whereas in omega analysis, 1 by 2 into e to the power of j omega naught t plus e to the power of minus j omega naught t. Even is the corresponding Fourier transform pairs. So here x of f is 1 by 2 e power j 2 pi f naught t. First for second Fourier transform del of f minus f naught. So that del of f minus f naught plus second one e to the power of minus j 2 pi f naught t. So first one, that is del of f plus f naught. Just use these two to find the Fourier transform of cos omega naught. In omega analysis, use these two pairs. This is 1 by 2. 2 pi is there, so we can write 2 pi outside. So that it is del of omega minus omega naught plus del of omega plus omega naught. Of course, 2 gets cancelled in omega analysis. So we got both in F analysis and omega analysis Fourier transform of the cos omega naught t signal. Here no u of t, cos omega naught t, u of t is not there. Why I am telling you is in Laplace transform we will take always sinusoidal cos signals, one-sided signals. Cos omega naught t u of t, sin omega naught t u of t like that. But here directly cos omega naught t will take in the Fourier transforms. Whereas sin omega naught t Fourier transform we want. So this can be written as 1 by 2j e to the power of j 2 pi f naught t minus e to the power of minus j 2 pi f naught t in F analysis. Whereas in omega analysis, 1 by 2j e to the power of j omega naught t minus e to the power of minus j omega naught t. Use the pairs, substitute. X of f for sine signal will get 1 by 2j. So this one del of f minus f naught minus del of f plus f naught. Whereas in omega side, this is 1 by 2j. For this e to the del of 2 pi is multiplied. So 2 pi you can take outside common. So this is del of omega minus omega naught minus of del of omega plus omega. Just observe the Fourier transform pairs for complex exponentials enough. You can substitute for the sinusoidals easily. You have to do yourself. You don't need to see here. Just you do it yourself and then verify on this screen. Very, very important. I am just giving both frequency analysis in x of f and x of omega simultaneously to avoid confusion in future. Because sometimes they are asking x of f analysis, but sometimes they are asking x of omega analysis. Both sides you should be familiar without any confusion. That's what my goal. Already told you Fourier transform is a bit sensitive topic. Critical. Chance is there to do small mistakes in Fourier transform. That's why if we come in this order, definitely, first of all, you will get a clear picture in Fourier transforms, and then you can easily solve in examination. I think all of you noted. Shall I go to the next page? Right. I'm going to the next page. Just today, let us solve some exercise problems based on this Fourier transform pairs and some Fourier transform properties. I think all standard signals, basic elementary signals we have done here. We observe Fourier transform of ramp signal we have not touched here. What is Fourier transform of a ramp signal means? Does not exist. Ramp signal, Fourier transform does not exist. It is going to infinity, unbounded signal. No Fourier transform. Signal function Fourier transform we have. But of course, in Laplace transform, signal function Laplace transform does not exist. I will recall in Laplace transform once again. There are a lot of points to compare between Fourier transforms, Laplace transforms, and jet transforms like this. Some signals which are not Fourier transform can be Laplace transformable and jet transform. Those we have to highlight. And some signals which are not for Laplace transform, jet transformable, they can be Fourier transform. Here we have duality property. There we don't have duality property. In Laplace jet transforms, we have ROC concept. In Fourier transforms, we don't have any ROC concept. There is no region of convergence here in Fourier transform. For all domain, whether time domain, frequency domain, for all values of time index or frequency index, Fourier transform should exist. But in Laplace jet transforms, we can specify some region where transform exists. The origin of convergence is a unique property in Laplace and jet transforms. Such kind of comparison points should be clear. So I will just recall that while I'm discussing Laplace and jet transforms, definitely I will recall all comparison points with Fourier transforms. Fine. Let us solve some exercise problems. I'm clearing this screen. Right. Starting with a simple example. Find the Fourier transform of the following signal. This is given like this. This is the signal x of t. Find the Fourier transform of this signal. Right, all of you. Simply, this signal, what can we do? Direct formula. Fine. This is x of t. Fourier transform x of omega. X of omega is minus into plus infinity. X of t e to the power of minus j omega t dt. This is the formula. Here, x of omega is integral 0 to 1. It is having amplitude 2. E to the power of minus j omega t dt. Whereas 1 to 2, it is having amplitude 3. E to the power of minus j omega t dt. Single exponentials, you can proceed. 2 e to the power of minus j omega t divided by minus j omega with t limits 0 to 1 plus 3 into e to the power of minus j omega t divided by minus j omega with the t limits 1 to 2. Substitute the limits here. Minus 2 by j omega e to the power of minus j omega upper limit minus e power 0 is 1 minus 3 by j omega and upper limit e to the power of minus j omega 2 minus e to the power of minus j. That's it. X of omega. Based on the options available in the question, you can rearrange these terms. How to proceed means we don't need to apply any properties or any complex procedures we don't need to follow. Whenever we have constants in the signal waveform, most of the times it's easy to find Fourier transform or any other transform. So direct formula we can apply it. Second question. Second question. Find the Fourier transform of x of t given as 1 by 2 del of t minus 1 plus del of t plus 1 plus del of t plus 1 by 2 plus del of t minus 1 by 2 what is the Fourier transform of this signal? Find x of omega. Right, all of you. I am giving you just a small gap because you should get idea whether you can directly by using formula or any property you can use or any different shortcuts you can use like that. Just I will give a small gap for your sake. del of t, Fourier transform, we have 1. Time shifting property, if we apply del of t minus t naught, one side shifting always multiplying with exponentials in other domain. If it is time domain, same signature. So e to the power of minus j omega t naught. This is what the Fourier transform of shifted impulse function. Now this t naught, he has given that 1 minus 1 minus 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2. Respectively, he has given t naught value like this. So corresponding x of omega, you can find 1 by 2. And this term, exponential minus j omega, second term, plus e to the power of plus j omega plus e to the power of plus j omega by 2 plus e to the power of minus j omega by 2. Any simplifications possible means you can see. This one, both are same theta value. So that you can write it as cos omega. Second one. 2 is there, 1 by 2. So that here theta value omega by 2. So directly cos omega by 2. Simple one. Next question. Next question. Third one. Given x of t equal to some constant k sine 2 pi f naught t. If x of omega is given as 2j del of omega minus 2 pi minus del of omega plus 2 pi then find the values of k and f naught. Find the values of k and f naught. So find the Fourier transform pair for sine function in terms of x of omega format. You write it first. Compare with the given x of omega. Sort out the values of k and f naught. So if we have sine omega naught t, the Fourier transform just now we have seen, it is pi by j del of omega minus omega naught minus del of omega plus omega naught. Compare with the given and sort out what are the values of k and f naught. I'm giving time for you. Try to solve it. Simple problems. Chance is there to do small mistakes. From this, k sine 2 pi f naught t is 1. So we can multiply both sides k. Then you can compare the given expressions. So this is x of t. This is x of omega. And this is nothing but equal to this one. Then what are the values of k and f naught? First of all, omega naught directly by comparison 2 pi. That is equal to 2 pi f naught. So f naught is equal to 1, no doubt for all. You can easily take f naught value. What is k value here? Here k pi by j, he has given that 2j. That means k value is 2j square by pi. This minus 2 by pi. Minus 2 by pi is the k value. You get it? Fine. Next. I'm going to the next one. Find the inverse Fourier transform of x of omega shown in the figure. Find the inverse Fourier transform of x of omega shown in the figure. X of omega is given like this. One, two, on this side -1, -2, +1, +2. Signal is like this. This is the signal given in omega domain. X of omega is given. Then what is x of t? Find x of t for this figure. Try to solve this. First, how to solve? Getting idea is important. Just a few seconds, think of it. For this problem, directly by using inverse Fourier transform formula, you can proceed. One thing I want to discuss here for the knowledge purpose. First, let us consider the signal like this. The signal, if you observe, -2 to +2, 1, plus -1 to +1, 1. If you take this, you will get this signal. Is it? So this is x1 of t, I'm sorry, x1 of omega. This is x2 of omega. To combine these two signals, you will get x of omega. So what is the given signal x of omega means? The sum of two rectangular signals. That means if you take the inverse Fourier transform of rectangular signal, then you can add these two. Inverse Fourier transform of this one, inverse Fourier transform of this one, you can add. You will get the inverse Fourier transform of this one. So for that, we need the inverse Fourier transform of rectangular signal. What we find earlier means Fourier transform of rectangular function we find. What is the Fourier transform of rectangular function in x of omega format? Rectangular of t by tau. It is tau sampling of, I told you in x of omega, tau by 2 is there. If you recall this one, now what we need? Rectangular function inverse Fourier transform. That means rectangular function should be this side. Then correspondingly, according to the duality property, sampling function should go to that side. So duality property, I am writing the statement once again for you here. If x of t, x of omega, in omega analysis, 2 pi is there. 2 pi small x of minus omega. Of course, here this is a symmetric function, rectangular function, so that 2 pi x of omega you can take directly. So this rectangular function, if you take this side, t will be replaced with omega by tau, and 2 pi is multiplied here. So that this function should go that side, tau sampling of This omega means now time domain. That's why t tau by 2. So what is the rectangular function? Inverse Fourier transform means rectangular of omega by tau. If we have, this is tau by 2 pi. This 2 pi we are bringing that side. Sampling of t tau by 2. This is the Fourier transform pair. So we found the Fourier transform sampling function also by using duality property on the Fourier transform of the rectangular function. So given signals x1 of t Fourier transform x1 of omega, you observe what is x1 of omega here? This function, a rectangular function with the width frequency domain. Rectangular function with frequency domain. First signal width is 4. Second signal width 2. So this is rectangular of omega by 4 first signal. For second signal, Fourier transform x2 of omega, that is a rectangular function omega by 2. What we need to find means inverse Fourier transform of these two signals. Take this rectangular of omega by 4. What is the inverse Fourier transform? Tau value how much in this? This signal tau value 4. So that 4 by 2 pi sampling of t into tau by 2 is 2. Simply sampling of 2t. Step by directly 2t. Sampling of 2t. Similarly, take this signal. Second signal rectangular of omega by 2 as it is 2 by 2 pi sampling of tau by 2. This time your tau is equal to 2 means tau by 2 is 1. So that is sampling of t. So these two signals just added to get the x of omega. Sum of these two is directly x of omega. This one add is equal to x of omega. Then what is x of t means? Add these two. So here 2 by pi sampling of 2t plus here 1 by pi sampling of t. Like this you can find the inverse Fourier transform. If you find the Fourier transform pairs, use Fourier transform pairs or properties, your wish. You can get like this. If you apply direct formula, inverse Fourier transform formula, then also you will get, first you will get the exponential integration of exponential, you can convert into sinusoidal. Sinusoidal you can convert into sampling function. So that finally you will get the same expression. Remember, in x of omega analysis, always you will get sampling functions. In x of f analysis, always you should get sinc functions. Even by mistake also, in f analysis, you don't get sampling function. In omega analysis, you don't get sinc function. Try to remember this. Fine, one more problem. I hope all of you noted this. Very, very important problems. This work helps us to solve the problems in the competitive examination. That's why I selected this kind of problems only for exercise problems. Next question. Hope all of you got the same answer. Those who have used the inverse Fourier transform formula, you should get this answer only. Of course, while first you are listening, it may feel that it is a difficult, but it is not at all a difficult process. What I told you. Simply direct steps. Only practicing Fourier transform pairs by using duality property. Fine. Next problem. If x of t Fourier transform x of omega, then Fourier transform of x of 4t minus 8. Find Fourier transform x of 4t minus 8. If x of t Fourier transform is x of omega. Try to do it. Here signal shifted and scaled. Then what happens? We have scaling property of the Fourier transform. We have shifting property of the Fourier transform. Try to apply the statements. X of at Fourier transform, we know that 1 by mod a x of omega by a, whereas x of t minus t naught Fourier transform, we have x of omega multiplied by e to the power of minus j omega t naught. I have given both statements, scaling and shifting. Try to apply these statements on the given expression. What do you get? Check it. I'll give the answer, just to check it. This is very important exercise. The next class I will explain. Definitely. Because a lot of possibilities there to get different answers for this question. And this is a repeated question in previous terms. Very interesting problem. That's why I want to hold the suspense for the next class. Anyways, I'll give the answer for you. It is 1 by 4 x of omega by 4 e to the power of minus j omega 2, not 8. Many different possibilities to get the answers here. Because scaling, shifting, we have an important point to be noted in the signal operations. When a signal, both shifting and scaling is performed, we need to follow some precedence rule there. What is the importance of this precedence rule in Fourier transform properties here? If you apply directly Fourier transform properties separately, scaling and shifting on the given signal. Try to verify your answer with this. Discussion I will do with some other examples tomorrow. Simple problem actually, not difficult to worry, but I am giving you as an assignment this problem. One more problem I'll give as an assignment. Here it is. Triangular signal is there. Rectangular I have derived for both f and omega analysis. If it is triangular signal, one minus mod t, minus 1 to plus 1, here I am to 1. Find Fourier transform both x of omega and x of. This is assignment 2 for you. I want to do one tomorrow, either this one or this one. In the next class, definitely I will do one. You try to do yourself now, but I will do one for you. There are some textbooks going very complex manner. So in simplified form, I will do one x of omega or x of a in the next class for this triangular signal Fourier transform. One more assignment problem I want to give you. It is this also I want to do in the next class if you don't get. Signal, a trapezoidal signal from -2 to -1, 1 to 2. This is 1 x of t. Find x of omega for this trapezoidal signal. I'll do standard trapezoidal signal Fourier transform also in the next class. But anyway, meanwhile, you try this one Fourier transform of a trapezoidal signal with these numericals. So here, these two signals, what is the common thing means? Ramp signals involved. A signal where ramp signal involved, a little bit more complex, we know that. Because of t term will be there, integration of t into exponential will be there. You have to apply integration of uv. They're a little bit more complex in the mathematical equation, that's it. In logically, not different. I hope you can do all these things. These three assignment problems you can do. But anyway, in the next class, definitely I'll recall all these. This one I'll do one of these two, so that you can do the remaining easily. And trapezoidal also with the other example I want to do, so that this one you can do yours. But I'll close the session here. Thanking all of you, ma. Good night, all of you. I'm closing the session here.